Live, local, connected. This is an NBC News special report.
We begin with breaking news. A tsunami warning is in effect for the state of Hawaii. This just after a 9.0 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Alaska. Officials at the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center say the quake happened at 8 a.m. this morning near the Aleutian Islands. Half an hour later, the warning was issued for Hawaii and remains in effect. Forecasters expect the first wave to hit the islands at 12:13 p.m. We have team coverage on this breaking story. Our Kristen Wong is live in Manoa, but first we go to reporter Dylan Nanchetta. He's standing by at the Emergency Management Agency headquarters, where state officials just wrapped up an emergency press conference on the tsunami. Dylan?
Thanks, Vicky. That's right. State officials are stressing that public safety is of the utmost importance at this time. Evacuation orders are in effect for those in tsunami zones, and refuge points across the state have been opened. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
Aloha. As you know, we have a serious situation involving the entire state with the approaching tsunami. There is no reason for anyone to be hurt in the tsunami as long as you listen to the experts and follow their advice. My staff are following all developments, and I would encourage you to simply stay calm and follow the instructions of these experts.
We are doing everything we can to prepare for this. Currently, our EOC is open. We are now staffing it up with all our liaison people as well as the staff. We're prepared to do what we have to do. We are looking at the resources that are available to us, putting them in the status of readiness, and then we're also surveying all our critical infrastructure to ensure that we're doing everything that we possibly can to ensure the safety of the public.
For us, this was a no-brainer. This is a very large earthquake in an area that has the potential to send exceptionally large tsunamis towards Hawaii. And this picture just shows a simulation of how big the tsunami is on the deep ocean. The Hawaiian Islands are down on the bottom here. So you can see that it's almost pointed right at us. We have the first wave of this tsunami will hit the north shore of Kauai at about 12:13. So several hours from now, but only several hours from now. We think that the wave heights will be at their highest, over 30 feet. We are absolutely convinced that this tsunami is going to be at least as bad as the tsunami of 1946.
Now state officials want to reassure the public that they are fully prepared. They've practiced and they've had drills, and they're ready to respond to an event like this. Vicky?
Dylan Nanchetta at the Emergency Management Agency headquarters in Honolulu. Thank you. Again, officials urge anyone in tsunami zones or near the coastline to evacuate at this time. This is the map of Waikiki, one of the most heavily populated coastal areas on the island. Anyone living in the red and yellow zones shown on this map is advised to head to higher grounds. Anyone in a high-rise building is advised to go at least to the 4th floor or higher. On the screen, we have wave models and energy projections showing the amount of energy headed our way. We see Hawaii taking the brunt of the force from the tsunami. Here's what Dr. Gerard Fryer from the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center had to say.
What we know now is this is big. That we have no reason to believe that it's going to die down. Tsunami waves, they lose energy very, very slowly. And as I said in the press conference, basically this was a no-brainer. For where the earthquake is and from the size, we know that we're going to get something bad. The tsunami is not just one wave; it's several, and the waves. Each wave can be like 5 to 15 minutes, rise in sea level. Once it gets into the islands, it bounces around. So it's gone. It's already gone by on the deep ocean, but we still have a continuing hazard within the islands.
There's no need for anyone to panic. Everyone simply needs to listen to the authorities, get to higher ground, and we'll all be safe.
We are prepared to deal with this in a way we weren't decades ago. And so again, there's no reason for anyone to panic. We're prepared for this situation. Everyone will be safe if they simply follow the instructions of authorities and don't panic.
Now, officials are warning that impacts from this tsunami could be severe. We turn to Kristen Wong in Manoa with more on the preparation for the impending tsunami. Kristen, what kind of impacts could we expect to see, and how have Hawaii officials prepared for it?
Yes, Vicki, Governor Moore has signed a proclamation that activates the emergency response services. Forecasters are expecting to see severe damage along coastal areas, and as you heard earlier, they're expecting wave heights of up to 30 feet in some areas.
We know there's a tsunami. We've picked it up on our instruments, and we have just heard that that unusual wave activity is hitting Dutch Harbor in the Aleutians. So this is real.
So the wave is not just a surface wave where the wind blows it and it builds and crashes on the shore. This is actual uplifting of the ocean, and it could be up to a mile long, and it drives inland. So this is a very destructive event. It'll wash most things away and destroy them.
Remain at least 100 feet away from inland waterways and marinas. If you live in a tsunami evacuation zone, which is shaded red on the map, you should evacuate immediately. You should evacuate to higher ground. If you do not have transportation, look for a public bus.
Now, civil defense and other agencies are taking the necessary precautions to ensure that they're prepared for an event like this. Over the last few months, the state has invested $25 million to upgrade sirens just like this one all over the state. They replaced old, outdated systems and installed some new sirens to better alert residents. The city also plans to install new tsunami evacuation signs in parts of Oahu. The signs will serve as a guide for residents and visitors and point out evacuation routes. Statewide, schools have also held tsunami evacuation drills. Haleiwa Elementary, which is close to the ocean, held their drill a few weeks ago as part of April's Tsunami Awareness Month. All these steps are to ensure the public is safe. Officials want to remind everyone just how deadly a tsunami can be. This footage just into our newsroom shows the devastation happening in Alaska right now. Now, going back to the emergency sirens, they will sound off at the top of every hour, plus half an hour before the expected time of the first wave in Hawaii. In fact, the first siren sounded off this morning at around 9 a.m., and officials are saying now is not the time to run for emergency supplies, but to look for those refuge points. Kristen Wong, NBC News, Manoa.
Thanks, Kristen. Let's take a look outside now at our live cam overlooking Waikiki Beach. You can see the tide beginning to rise. Officials urge anyone along the coastline to head to higher grounds. Stay with NBC News on air and online for the latest updates on the tsunami.